these days are like
Yeah, you reach a
yeah,
maximum.
disappear. Yes, when you reach
Right.
the maximum.
Only 10 consecutive days, so consecutive
Okay.
days all the time.
What do you think about this compared to your country?
It would be
Afterwards, yeah.
difficult to live without any holidays, without any vacation. In like our national labor law states that you might take the sick leave, and first 2 days are paid like 80%.
So in Japan, we don't have sick leave, so we have to use a paid holiday of 10 days to cover it.
So I couldn't imagine how we could live like that.
I'll let go immune system. Basically, you're just spending your holidays being sick
Yeah.
rather than explore the world.
Right. What are your thoughts on the Japanese?
It's much worse than Europe.
We are thinking like how people can live like that,
How they
but
can
people
survive.
are living like that, are surviving. But it's maybe more about surviving than like enjoying your life.
Okay, thank you for your time. I'm Ho. May I ask your names?
My name is Edgaras.
Agnes?
Amy,
Amy. Okay, nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Lithuania.
Lithuania. Are you on vacation?
Yes, we are.
Okay, how many days are you planning to stay here?
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow, sounds good. I'd like to ask you about some questions about the work environment in your country. Are you an employee or self-employed?
I'm an employee.
Also employee.
Okay, great. What do you do?
I'm an air traffic controller. Air traffic controller.
Oh, okay. And what about you?
Yeah, I'm working with air traffic controllers trainings.
Okay.
So
all right.
actually the head of training center.
Okay, I see. So in Japan, 6 months after starting the job, the law ensures 10 paid holiday per year, but many people don't take them all due to high pressure. How many paid holiday do you get per year, and what's the legal minimum in your country?
It's 20 days.
20 days.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a low minimum.
Yes.
Okay.
20 work days, maybe just.
Yeah, like 20 work days, not like calendar days, but working
Right,
days.
right. Okay. So, do you get them immediately after joining the company or after some months?
It's also a 6-month period till you
Okay.
can use the first holidays.
Okay. So, what do you usually do during your paid holidays?
We usually travel.
Yeah, we usually
Like to this time?
Yeah, no,
travel sometimes in our country, sometimes abroad. More, like usually more abroad.
Okay. Okay. Most Japanese people don't use them all. Do you have to use them all within a year?
No, we have to use most of the days during 3 years period because
Okay.
after 3 years it doesn't count on the top anymore.
Right.
Because if you are not using through the 1 year, those days are counting on top. So if 1 year you didn't take 20
Uh-huh.
days, so next year you will have 40. But
Oh,
after
okay.
3 years, these days are like
Yeah, you
Disappear.
reach a
yeah
maximum.
disappear.
and
Yes,
that's all.
when you reach the
Right.
maximum. yes.
Okay.
And there's only 10 consecutive days you must to take during 1 year period. So consecutive
Okay.
days, only 10.
Okay.
The rest of it, yeah.
So in 2019, the government required people to take 5 days off as part of work reform in Japan, but it is often difficult to take them up all at once. And in the end, most people end up taking 1 day off at a time throughout the year. What do you think about this compared to your country?
It's about
It
half
would be
of it, yeah.
difficult to live without any holidays, without any vacations.
Yeah.
Of course, we have like bank holidays too, so it's
Uh-huh.
nice to have these free days, of course.
Mhm.
Sometimes we are making like long holidays, let's
Uh-huh.
say, like taking day off on Friday or on Monday, something like that.
Right.
It's quite common in Lithuania, but not taking holidays with our
Sector.
with our sector because aviation sector is kind of intense and we are
Uh-huh.
both working on it, so we need vacation
Yeah.
and proper. Yeah.
Okay. So do you usually take them all at once or split them into several?
We usually split them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
like
this-
our favorite seasons, like
Yeah.
at the beginning of autumn, for
Uh-huh.
example,
Uh-huh.
and at the end of spring or at the
Uh-huh.
beginning of summer. We are using these times to travel.
Right. Okay. So has your boss ever discussed or complained about your vacation plan?
Never
Never.
actually. They are
Okay.
not taking account into it because you're just asking for the holiday leave and they
Uh-huh.
are approving and that's it.
Okay.
I have a stricter schedule because there's like a shift, so we have to comply with the rest of the team. But
Yeah.
yeah, we usually share it and we can exchange between us.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easier.
When we are working in teams,
Uh-huh.
so of course we are talking with our colleagues about the next year's vacation plan, and we are putting it on schedule just to share the workload. But it's manageable. It's quite okay.
Okay. All right. So, does other people also travel abroad during their paid holiday?
Not all of them, but mostly. Yeah.
Maybe more younger people,
Uh-huh.
maybe like older people. They are just taking vacation.
Like domestic ones.
Yes, domestic
Right.
ones.
Okay. All right. So, does your boss ever contacted you about work while you are on a vacation and you have to deal with it?
Rarely, but it happens,
happens.
sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
How many days? How many days have you been on vacation this time?
I don't know. I have more holidays.
So, does your boss ever contacted you this time?
No, not
Once
on these ones.
for me once happened,
Oh,
but
okay.
it was like a short question. It's okay.
Okay. All right. So, do you have sick leave in your country's laws or your company?
Yeah.
Yes, we have in the company and in our labor law.
Okay. In Japan, there are no specific regulation regarding sick leave. So many Japanese are not familiar with the concept. Could you explain it briefly?
Yeah. In the like our national labor law states that you might take the sick leave, and first 2 days are paid like 80%, and these 2 days are paid by your
Employer.
employer,
Mm-hmm.
and the next days are paid
By
by government.
Okay.
But
From the
then
third day?
yes, and it really depends how many days you are taking for the sick leave and what kind of sick leave. Because if it's like an operation or something like that, it's like 1% when they are counting in. If it's just like a cold, flu, something like that, there's another kind of percentage. And if you are taking sick leave because of injuries at work, then it's paid 100%
Okay.
For the whole period.
for the whole period. Yeah,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
And
Depends.
in company, we have like a collective agreement. Yeah, we have a collective agreement, and it's valid for all the employees. And it's like additional benefits when we are having 3 additional days that it doesn't require you to take a sick leave, but you can just inform your employer that you are like sick and just take 3 days, and they are like 100% paid. So it's like an additional benefit when you are like working for our company.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a company rule.
Okay.
As
Other
Amy
companies
mentioned,
doesn't have that. So,
Okay.
as you mentioned, there's like a payment related to your salary, or there's a maximum payment that you can get. If you reach these limits, you can get more than the limit set by the government.
yes.
Okay.
So if you have like a really high salary, so you reach the limits, you get like an average salary.
So in simpler words, sometimes when you're having a higher salary, it doesn't pay you off to get a sick leave, but it is what it is. If you are sick, if you are not able to work, then
Yeah, you can
then
get
you must
just
take some sick leave
it
days.
might be just 50% of your day's
Oh,
salary.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you get a high salary, then the percentage would be lower.
And I think it's worth to mention that after COVID, we have more flexibility to work from home. And when you are sick, like lightly sick, then you don't need to come to work and to spread
Right.
the virus and bacteria. Yeah, you can stay at home and work. So
Okay, but you
it's
still
nice.
have to work.
It's nice feature. Yes.
Okay. All right. So, what is the maximum number of days for sick leaves?
I
6 months, I
think 6
think.
months.
6 months.
Yeah, but it is when you are
It's-
getting like really difficult treatment for example, of
Right.
cancer or something like that.
Right. Right.
So you can get it.
Wow.
After 6 months, you have to go through a medical team to check if you still need a sick leave or some other treatments,
Yeah,
maybe
like
just
like a
reduce
special.
workloads. Yeah,
It is.
but 6 months of consecutive ones. But it
Okay.
doesn't say that maximum per year, just consecutive.
Okay. So you might get more than 6 months. Okay. All right. So you have to submit the doctor's certificate after 3 days, third day, right? on sick
Uh,
leave?
No, actually, it depends what kind of sick leave you are taking. If it is
Okay.
within the company, if company allows you to take without any doctor's
Okay.
certification, then it's fine, 3 days. But if you don't have that possibility, so you need to visit doctor the first day or like
Oh, first
second
day.
day,
Okay.
then it defines how many days you are getting of the sick leave.
Okay.
so
All right.
it's upon doctor's decision how many
Yeah.
sick days you get.
Okay. Thank you. So, what would happen if you take sick leave for 1 month or 2 months? Could it affect your promotion or evaluation?
Maybe in some cases, but usually it's not like that. If you're sick, the lawyer accepts that, doesn't affect your career.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe you just need to be quite fair with your employer and
Mhm.
just inform about the situation if it's really serious and you need to take 1 month or more. So yes, you can have this sick leave and it shouldn't affect your promotion or any other features.
There are cases where you can take your sick leave because your child is sick. So as
Yeah.
well,
Oh, okay.
there's like extra sick leave. So
Okay.
it's like that.
See. So in Japan, we don't have sick leaves. So we have to use a paid holiday of 10 days to cover it.
Ouch.
And what do you think about that?
It's unfair.
It's unfair, yeah, actually, because sometimes just life happens. You
Uh-huh.
cannot manage all the things, especially when there's like viruses or something like
Right.
that.
Or
And
just
when you have like
injuries.
small children and they are sick and something like that. So it really, I believe, affects the quality of your life,
Yeah,
like
yes.
the work and the life balance. So I couldn't imagine how we could live like that.
If you have like low immune system, basically you're just spending your holidays being sick
Yeah.
rather than explore the world.
Right. Okay. So I'd like to ask about overtime now.
Yeah.
How many hours do you work per day and how many days do you work per week?
Yeah, so I can answer from like
Monday to
office
Friday.
hours Monday to Friday
Mhm.
because I'm working like office hours. So we are working 8 hours per day and 40 hours per week. With the gap for the weekend, we are not working for the weekends. Yeah, so basically that's it. And in 1 month, it might be up to 160 hour working hours or even 170 hours.
Depends on the month.
Yeah.
And from my sector, as I work in the shifts, so usually
Mhm.
it's the same 40 hours.
Mhm.
But as air traffic controlling is quite intense job, so we have reduced a week up to 36 hours per week.
Okay.
So, but we have shifts and we cannot exceed more than 52 hours per 7 days.
Okay. All right. So you do work overtime.
Yeah, we do.
With the
Okay.
office hours, usually we don't have this kind of scheduling. So yeah, we're just working 40 hours.
40 hours. Okay. Are there laws regulating overtime in your country?
Yes.
You cannot work more than 60 hours per week with overtime.
Huh?
So the maximum
How many
is
hours?
60 hours
Not
60
more than
hours?
6.
per week. Yeah.
Okay. In Japan, like coworkers and the seniors are still working. It's hard to leave the office and it leads frequent overtime. And does that kind of a pressure exist in your country?
No, definitely. No. I mean,
Maybe it depends on the working space and the environment and of course on the team how you are organizing the work because sometimes when we have like a project or something then we can agree within the team members that okay, let's spend some more hours maybe today, tomorrow or something, but let's leave earlier on Friday, for example. And yeah, we are just talking to each other and organizing
Okay.
the work, but we are trying to avoid overtime. And
Right.
if you have your like life organized after working hours, for example, you need to take a child from the kindergarten
Right,
or
right.
something like that, we are not forcing people to stay
Right.
because we are trying to keep the limits between the working environment and the life, the rest of the life. So yeah.
Right.
so overtime is paid more. If you spend some time working more, it's 50% more to the extra
Oh,
salary. And if it's the
good.
night shift, it's double the payment.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So in Japan, there's also a practice called unpaid overtime, in which employees do not get paid for working an additional 15 or 30 minutes or sometimes hours. And our survey shows that about 40% of people in Japan work on an average of 18 hours of unpaid overtime per month. How is it in your country? Is there any customs like unpaid overtime?
We have like government, I don't know, check institution. If they find that employer works for extra hour and it's not recorded, employer can get a fine for that. So there's not such a thing as unrecorded overtime hours.
It might happen very rarely, but the employee can write like a
Complaints?
complain, and then the employer will be checked by the institutions, so they might get into troubles.
Yeah, so
Okay.
local authorities do check these overtimes, and if they are not recorded, it's just cheaper to pay the employee rather than to pay the fine for the government.
Yeah.
Right.
It's quite strict in that case.
Oh, okay. All right. In Japan, there's an expectation to sacrifice personal time for the sake to contributing to the company. Do you have a similar sense of loyalty or a desire to contribute to the company in your country?
I guess it depends on generation. Old generation did have it. The younger generation do not have it anymore.
Right.
And maybe also depends on the position. For example, as I am the head of the team, so of course our top management expects something more than from like regular employee.
Right.
But I believe that it's quite manageable because we are still keeping the limits between the work and the rest of the life environment. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the last question. What are your thoughts on the Japanese work culture and the way Japanese people work compared to your country?
It's much worse than Europe.
Yeah, actually, I read quite a lot about Japanese culture, and when you're reading on paper about the working culture, it seems like utopia, like but not in a good way. And we are thinking like how people can live like that,
Yeah, how they
what
can
people
survive.
are living like that, are surviving. But it's maybe more about surviving than like enjoying your life. So
Right.
maybe we have like more flexibility to enjoy our lives and to have like free time, some hobbies, activities, and so on.
Yeah, we
So
can spend time not just working, but to enjoy ourselves, to do what we love, to travel, to have vacations, and the rest of it. So yeah, we don't
yeah.
have like to spend all our lifetime in the workplace.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.